Hey guys, it's Mandy. Welcome to my channel. So this video is not real estate related, but it is going to be interesting, I promise. I am going to attempt to live off of the federal minimum wage, which is $7.25 an hour for the entire month of June.
If they really think it's doable in this world, pay rent, pay insurance, pay for gas, pay for groceries, pay to live. Try it on $7.25 if you think you can. I would love to see it.
I have been wanting to make a video like this for quite a while because I've seen a lot of people say that minimum wage is not a livable income. And I'm not trying to make a political statement or anything like that. I just thought it would be interesting to do an experiment and to see how difficult it really is to live off of minimum wage. Now, I recently moved to Tennessee from Arkansas. And back when I was in Arkansas, even then I heard a lot of people saying that minimum wage wasn't enough to live on. And when I would hear those people say that, people living in Arkansas, I almost kind of just dismissed it. I a lot of times assumed that this is where people are gonna get mad at me, but they were just spending too much and spending like frivolously on things that they didn't really need. Because the minimum wage, the state set minimum wage in Arkansas is actually $11 an hour. And the cost of living in Arkansas is also fairly inexpensive compared to almost any other state. For example, my husband and I, we lived in a very nice 2-bedroom apartment. It was on the golf course, over 700 square feet. Like, that's a pretty average size apartment for Arkansas. And we were also living in Northwest Arkansas, which has the highest cost of living for any area in Arkansas. And the rent for our apartment was $800 a month. Back when I was in college, I rented another 2-bedroom apartment in a cheaper complex, and the rent for that apartment was only $500 a month. So I had a roommate and I was only paying like $250 in rent. I recently searched that same apartment where I was living at in college, and like, admittedly, it wasn't the nicest apartment, but there wasn't anything wrong with it. It was just very basic. I mean, if you had maintenance trouble, they would fix it in 24 hours. It wasn't dirty, there weren't bugs or anything like that. It was just a very basic apartment. And what that same apartment that I rented back in college is going for today is $560. So it hasn't really increased that much. If you had a roommate, I mean, it's 2 bedrooms. So if you had a roommate, you would be paying under $300 a month. Even in my nicer apartment, I know that my husband and I, we were living on less than 2 minimum wage salaries. So like, if we were both working minimum wage, we were living on quite a bit less than that in Arkansas. Now, moving to Tennessee, so the state set minimum wage is actually the same as the federal minimum. So in Tennessee, the minimum wage is $7.25 an hour. And also, the cost of living in Tennessee is higher than the cost of living in Arkansas. So I think this is gonna be pretty challenging. I'm not 100% sure that I can do it. I know I could do it if I like set out from the beginning. So if I had picked an apartment that was cheaper and we had the very like basic internet, but we don't. We have like the most expensive internet, and we also have a very expensive like luxury apartment. So I am going to see if I can live off the federal minimum wage without making a ton of sacrifices. And I mean, I may be way off base. It may not even be possible, especially with the apartment that we have. I mean, we may be going pretty hungry by the end of the month, but I feel like we can do it. I feel like it is possible. All right, so in my household, there are 2 adults, myself and my husband. I wasn't sure if I should do just one person, one income, and kind of treat my husband as my roommate, but that doesn't work so well because he doesn't like go grocery shopping. And anyway, he's the more expensive one. He has to get haircuts and things like that. So what I'm gonna do is just treat it like, you know, we have a 2-person household with 2 minimum wage salaries coming in. Because, I mean, if I were one person living on minimum wage, I would definitely have a roommate and I would be splitting rent and utilities anyway. Okay, so one person working a full-time minimum wage job, their gross pay for 4 weeks would be $1,160. Then once you take out federal withholding, Social Security, and Medicare, the state of Tennessee does not actually have state income tax. That leaves you with a net take-home pay of $1,056.93. And then there's 2 people in my household, so we're doubling that, and our household has $2,113.86 to spend for the entire month of June. Now, it is June 1st, so my rent has already been paid, and that was $1,100. So that took a big chunk of it right there. Now, my rent does include trash, and it also includes water. Yesterday, I also did grocery shopping for this week, and I'm not sure if it will last the whole week or not, but here's a clip of the groceries I picked out. Welcome to my first grocery haul video. So these are the groceries that I bought for the week. I'm not entirely sure if it will last the whole week or not. I may have to run back to the grocery store towards the end of the week, but we'll see. Basically, I got oatmeal for breakfast and blackberries to go in the oatmeal. Now, normally I would buy the old-fashioned oats, but I accidentally got the quick oats, so we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna make red beans and rice. This is 2 pounds of brown rice. I actually already had a lot of brown rice, so I just measured out 2 pounds and then priced it at what it would have cost if I had bought it from Walmart. All of these groceries came from Walmart. I did have just a few, like I already had soy sauce, but I didn't think it would be fair to not buy soy sauce since my recipe depends on soy sauce. So I just priced it as what it would be to buy a brand new bottle from Walmart today. Anyway, one recipe that I'm gonna make is red beans and rice. It needs a bell pepper and garlic, cilantro, onions, so that's where a lot of the flavor will come from, and celery as well. And then I'll make extra rice when I make the red beans and rice. And with the leftover rice, I'm going to make fried rice. So the mixed vegetables are for the fried rice and the soy sauce, and we like to put pineapple in our fried rice. And then the last recipe is an Indian dish. It uses lentils and also rice, and then you cook up a bunch of like caramelized onions and put them on top. I also like to put avocado and cilantro on top of the dish, and it's really good. And then just some grapes. Grapes are actually like $1.19 a pound, so I went ahead and got some grapes as well. We like to eat quite a bit of fruit. Anyway, I guess we will see how far these groceries actually get us. So on those groceries, I spent a total of $18.05, which leaves our remaining amount of money for the entire month at $995.81. We have to pay all of our utilities, our cell phone bills, car insurance, more groceries. I think Dan needs a haircut, so we're gonna see if we can make this work or not and how difficult it will be. All right, now I'm gonna do a quick plug for the channel, because if you wanna be sure and not miss part 2 of this video, which will be at the end of June, when you find out whether or not I was successful or not, then you need to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss that video. Thanks guys, bye. Okay, so I realized that those of you watching my grocery haul are going to think, well, how realistic is it to really eat rice and beans? Like, sure, maybe you can do it for 1 month, but who's gonna do that for an entire year? And I wanted to just show you my pantry so that you would believe me, but that is actually how we really eat. I make a lot of rice and a lot of beans, and here's my pantry. There's not too much in here right now, but I mean, we eat spaghetti, and I don't put meat in there. I just buy mushrooms and zucchini or bell pepper, and I'll put that in the sauce. And then we eat tons of different kinds of beans, pinto beans, black beans. The white beans are not my favorite. I prefer black beans or pinto beans. And lots of lentils. I make lentil soup or like different Indian curries. And quinoa. Here's 10 pounds of white rice. We have brown rice already open and it's in the fridge, so that's what we're using right now. I have just a few canned goods since we moved recently. Usually I have more canned beans than that, but I try to use dried over canned. And like this, if I make pad thai, we put peanuts in there. The cashews, it's normally for fried rice. I won't be putting cashews in our fried rice that I make this week just because it's kind of expensive to buy a whole thing of cashews just for one recipe of fried rice. This will last for months, just depending on how often you make fried rice, but I probably make fried rice once or twice a month, and I don't know, this thing lasts 6 months, maybe longer. There's the onions, and then we just have some kind of junk food down here. That's ramen, but it's from Dan's mom. It's not very good. And then these are from Aldi. They're not open, and they still will not be open at the end of the month. They're just in the pantry, and there's dog food. So that's my pantry, and this is all just tea. But anyway, there you go.